try and show how a hawk's mind works, I'm going to go into the mews today and video what Woody's like before any interaction. We haven't interacted with him for a few months now. He's just been looking and seeing what's going on in the garden. But I'm going to go in and feed him from within his mews and just show what his attitude is like. And we need to remember that Woody is at the moment at fat weight, so he's been eating quality food for a few months now, and his body has gained a lot of fat. His muscle would have depleted slightly from what it was at the end of the hunting season last season. So he's got a bit of fat on him and less muscle. So when I reduce his weight slightly, I'm reducing the fat content of his body, which would be pretty much natural to when a hawk is out hunting, because they don't catch every day. There might be a couple of 3 days where they're not catching any food. It's very possible. And then the hawk's weight comes down and their eagerness comes up. So that's a very natural cycle for a hawk. Reducing weight, gaining weight, reducing weight, gaining weight. That's what they do in the wild. And a lot of times a hawk, if he doesn't catch his food within a few days, they can perish, especially micro hawks where the weight is more critical. So it's a natural cycle of reducing the hawk's weight to bring the appetite up, and then we get to a flying. So the aim is to bring your hawk's weight to a natural weight where the hawk will come back to you. You don't want to bring the hawk's weight so low that they're too eager. So the idea is, as time goes on, we start to hunt, the hawk gets familiar with what we're doing, and then the weight can increase, the muscle increases, the fat reduces, the hawk gets fit. Then in time we can raise that weight to the optimum level, and the hawk should be like an athlete at that point. So what we don't want to do is have a skinny hawk flying around. The idea is to fly that hawk as many days of the week as possible. I can manage 7, so I can get Woody's weight right up over time, and that hawk will be happy. But to start off with, we might have to bring his weight a little lower than we will do in a few months' time. Just a little bit lower. Get him coming to the fist on the creance, and then we'll be away. But for this video, I'm hoping just to show a little insight into Woody's mind, and I'm hoping that within a couple of days we'll see Woody changing in his mews. Now, I wouldn't recommend feeding a hawk the way I'm doing it in the mews. I'm just doing what I do with my own hawk. You listen to your mentor and do whatever they say. There is no set weight, there is no set amount of food. It's a case of looking at your hawk, trying to bring your hawk's weight as high as possible and not losing your hawk. And that can only happen with a well-manned, happy hawk that's been well fed, that is fit and is out hunting regularly. So this is not about starving hawks. This is about a happy hawk that wants to be with you as part of his hunting team. So the next video after this one, we're going to bring the hawk's weight down, we're going to get the hawk out, we're going to get the hawk on the creance, we're going to get the hawk used to the dogs again, and then hopefully within a few weeks we're going to be out flying that hawk daily. He's going to be catching his own food all ready for the next molt. Let's hope in the next few days we can show you into the mind of Woody the Harris hawk. this is day 2 of a little video I'm putting together for the next video that I put out. I'm just going to show Woody chick and see if he'd come in for it. I've not started reducing his weight just yet. Put a little bit on there. Once he gets a taste of it, he'll probably come in for the rest. Yesterday I did give him red meat, so his body's probably saying he doesn't really need too much, so he may not be as brave. It looks like he's not going to be so brave today. Just persevere for a little bit, just to see if he will get on the glove, but you can see that bit there. But I'm hoping that he's going to be just brave enough to come over and get on my fist, even if it's momentarily. The next process will be just give him a little bit, maybe not less each day, but I'll make sure that the chicken is squeezed out so he's not got so much red meat, and as his weight just drops off slightly, I'm hoping that we'll see his keenness in the video increase. But yesterday he had some red meat and it looks to me like his body's telling him that he doesn't really need to come over here whilst I'm standing here. He's not that brave, but if I was to just give him half rations today, then tomorrow he'd be a little bit more keen, and that's how it works. So you can see what Hawk's mind does. It's just getting itself a little bit bolder each time. And then next time, hopefully it'll take it from my fist. If his weight was just a little bit lower, he would be a bit braver. Here, so I'm squeezing these chicks out now. Bo's going to eat that. So what I've done today is give him a couple of empty chicks. So I can see from that food yesterday, that big portion of red meat, that he's not even got the will to come over here and take that chick even when I stand away. I've hardly reduced his food. So what I'll do is I'll give him a little piece of chicken just there, entice him over a bit closer. So if he can pull pieces off, he will go, but the idea is not to let him do that. But I don't think that's can't grumble at this. It just shows you what he's going to be like back to his usual self. And I only really give him a half ration yesterday, but that was enough to just bring a bit of keenness back. I haven't weighed him yet, but I will do. Just been a bit busy. But I'm not really reducing his weight. All I've done really was just reduced it enough to bring a little bit of keenness back. But it won't be enough when we get outside. This is another feed on a different day now. See if he's getting a little bit braver. Good boy, Woody. Right, I'm going to try get hold of his Jess's, pop his hood on and weigh him. He's not going to be too keen, but if I can get both of those Jess's, pop a hood on, I've got the scales by my feet and I'll give him a quick weigh. I was going to pick him up at night when it's dark, but I think I might be able to just grab them two Jess's if he sits on my fist long enough. Hello Woody, is that alright? Hey, some more chicken in there for you. He's about 113.5. I thought you'd be around that, but I was expecting maybe an ounce less. But that's just good to see what his fat weight is, just for my own interest. What, Bo? So Woody will forget that in a couple of days. He probably won't come to me fist tomorrow. But as you can see, he's still okay, wants his bit of food. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll go in there with a bit of chicken, even though he's at fat weight, and he's probably a little bit upset with that. Not much, but we'll see if it affects him tomorrow. He might be a bit more reluctant to get on with fist, but we'll have a look. We'll have a look tomorrow and see what he's like. Next couple of days I'm going to start reducing his weight down anyway, but you can see that there's a hawk there that's not been handled for a few months now, and it's not going to be too difficult to get him back flying. So this is the day after we put the hood on Woody and weighed him, and I would think he's still got a bit of a memory from yesterday about being picked up, so I don't think he'd be quite so keen. But let's have a look. And it's a little earlier in the day as well, which makes a difference. So I'll give him a little taster. But I can see he's being a little bit more reluctant to come in here now. But you can see how things can upset a hawk. He's just being a little bit more careful, a little bit more thoughtful. But there you go, I can see he's not going to come in. He remembers what went on yesterday, but in a couple of days' time, or even tomorrow, we'll see what he's like. And you can't rush a hawk, he's got to take it in his own time. If he don't want to come in, he don't want to come in. This is 2 days after Woody was hooded and weighed. I'm going to give him a little taster again and see if we can get him onto the fist. So he came in a bit quicker than yesterday, which shows me he may have forgotten about the incident with the weighing. Woody, a little closer and get him on the fist, and just let him eat off the fist now. And then from after today, I'm going to start reducing the fat content off his body, and we're going to get him out on the creance. Right, so that's it for today. We're going to have one more look tomorrow, see how he is. I'm going to reduce his food a little bit, bring his keenness back, and we'll see how we get on. So this is 3 days after we hooded Woody. So I think I'm going to call that it for now, because he's not going to come over. He's still remembering the little incident where I grabbed him up and weighed him. Although he's not totally bothered about it, I'm just going to give him a bit of food on there. There you go, mate. Also, what I'll be doing from now on is not feeding him in the mews anymore. Once I get him out, Woody's only going to get fed either when he's on the creance or out of my garden. I'll take him somewhere, feed him and bring him back. So his mews would be his little sort of safe haven. I don't normally feed like that in the mews, rarely. But this was just an exercise to show really a little bit of an insight into a hawk's mind. Looking at his reaction as well, I've got a feeling that he wasn't at total full fat weight, because I've been putting food in the mews and I haven't been overfeeding him, so I think maybe he was just slightly below what he could have been if I'd have put more food in. So we've still got to come down a little bit more with his fat content, but I think we've made a good start. So if you feel like it, please join us on the next video where we start to get Woody back on the creance and back to hunting. Thanks for watching.